Hello everyone, this is Lawrence. Been doing a series of videos of all the albums I brought in 2017. I didn't have time to make videos, so as I shelf them, library them, I'm making videos to share, because I brought over 700 albums last year. It was just a very rapid fire pace. I didn't have time to make videos. So I've posted a good number of those videos, and there's more coming. But I thought I'd just take a break from doing that and do what I call a retrospective album review. Okay? And today I'm going to be reviewing the 1977 album by Paul McCartney and Wings. There's the Wings part. And Wings has an interesting history, which we won't go into, except to say that a couple times they found themselves just as three members. And now that situation, one of the best albums came out called Band on the Run. And of course Wings, we all know it's Paul McCartney and his band of musicians who kind of came in and out, and we won't go over the names except to say Denny Laine was a mainstay of Wings. He was with them from the beginning to the very end when the outfit disbanded, or McCartney decided to just go solo again. But London Town came out in March of 1977. I remember it because I remember going out and buying this album. And they really hit a high mark. And Wings, I consider it to be Paul McCartney and Wings, basically his backup band. Okay, Paul wrote most of the material, with Denny Laine throwing in a song here and there, and the album Wings at the Speed of Sound, a little bit more contribution from the other members, but mainly it was a Paul McCartney outfit. So, they produced Band on the Run and a great follow-up, Venus and Mars Are Alright, Venus and Mars. And from there they toured America, the successful Wings Over America concert tour, and I actually saw one of the shows. And they released an album called Wings at the Speed of Sound, which to me was a bit of a dip in quality. It had great singles, Let Them In and Silly Love Song. The rest of the album was okay, but I didn't think it quite measured up to the standards of Band on the Run and Venus and Mars. Now, having said that, the next follow-up after the tour and the Wings Over America and the Wings Over America live album came London Town, which was a bit better, much better, not quite to the level of the albums I mentioned. It was an interesting album, had a little bit of a change in direction. I give it like 3.5, maybe bordering on 4 stars. I got to put on my glasses, my reading glasses. So it came out in 1977, and I think it reached number 2 on the Billboard album chart. But the single, With a Little Luck, reached number 1. With a Little Luck, London Town, another one of the title track. Basically, this album was more of a kind of keyboard synthesizer driven than guitars, although there are guitars in it, of course. So I'm just going to run down the songs and conclude with some comments. Okay, London Town. It was released as a single. It wasn't a big hit on the charts, you know. Um, if you listen to the Beatles song "Fool of the Hill" and "London Town," you're going to notice a lot of similarities in feel and lyrical content and structure. I think they kind of used the same chord sequences or something very similar to "Fool on the Hill." I like the track a lot. It was a good opener. It's some lyrically, some apprehension about life and situations and all that. And then we get into Cafe on the Left Bank, which is a pretty good mid-tempo rocker with some good keyboards and guitars, and the lyrics are pretty good. Then from there, I'm Caring, and I've heard a lot of people talk favorably about this track, but not one of my favorite tracks. It kind of loses my interest a little bit, a little too sappy for me. It just doesn't hold my attention. Let's see. Backward Traveler, which is only 1 minute 7 seconds long, and Cufflinks 2 minutes 3. They're kind of connected together. Backward Traveler has some vocals on it, but both songs are kind of instrumental, and I like them. They're kind of more of a instrumental, experimental type of feel, and I just felt like I kind of wish they went more in that direction for the rest of the album. But they're really good tracks. Children, you know, that's where the loses my interest. I think it's a Denny Lane song. I'm trying to get the writing credits here. It's going to take me too long. Denny Lane contributed some of the to some of the children, and it's just a skip over track for me. Girlfriend, which I like a lot. I mean, it may sound wimpy to a lot of people, but it does have a strong melody and recorded with a nice flow to it. And Paul wrote it for Michael Jackson, which Michael did record for his Off the Wall album. So, and later they would go on to collaborate on some other songs. But I like it. Had Enough is another rocker. This song, it just sounds too cliche for me. I've just kind of, I mean, it sounds all right, but you know, it's been done before, so it just didn't really grab me. Now we go to the flip side with A Little Luck. This has a great, as you get toward the end of the track, a great instrumental interlude with keyboards and synthesizers and background vocals, and it reminds me of the hits that Steve Winwood would have later in the 80s, you know. Sort of like Steve was taking his cue from that song, which is alright, you know, artists do feed off of one another. Famous Groupies is okay. The song about, you know, rock stars and groupies, and I kind of like the music. The lyrics a little, you know, ordinary for me. Not a great track, not a bad one, somewhere in the middle. Deliver Your Children. I mean, Denny Lane wrote Children on side 1, which I didn't like so much, but another song with a kind of a similar title, Deliver Your Children, I liked. It's a song about, it has some woes to it, some danger, and I thought it was an okay track. Now, Name and Address, which is the following Paul McCartney song. It has like a rockabilly feel. It sounded like a song that Paul would have wrote for Elvis and offered it up if Elvis had lived and really got back into recording good songs again. It's not a great song. It's a good song. And from there, the album just closes really badly with the, not badly, but uninteresting. Don't Let It Bring You Down, which is a song I just really can't get into. And Morse, if I pronounce this right, Morse, Moose, and the Grey Goose. The reason I don't like this song is I think they were trying to duplicate the song from Band on the Run, 1985, which is a killer closer. And on this track here, the Grey Goose, I just felt like they were trying to repeat that, and it just didn't turn out. I mean, it's okay, but it doesn't really add greatly to the album. So, just to note, during this time there were two other songs that were recorded for the album. A rocker called Girl School, and I wish it had been on this album, maybe replace one of the last two, and Mull of Kantal, if I pronounced it right, which was a huge hit in England, one of the best-selling singles ever. It was released here in the United States. It didn't do so well, and Paul, a lot of artists will blame the record company lack of promotion. It should have done much better here, but that's that. This is London Town by Wings, March 1977 release. 3.5 stars for me. I do always expect more from Paul, and I've always felt like his recordings from Speed of Sound to McCartney 2 were not quite up to what he could do. And then came Tug of War, which was absolutely fabulous. I always give that 5 stars. More on the Band on the Run label. So let me know what you think of the review. If you remember this album, buying it at the time and listening to it, let's compare notes. And thank you very much for watching. And I will be posting more reshelving or shelving album videos. Thank you so much. Have a good day.